Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. I'm Halsey and this is my review for the game Chocolate Factory Simulator, developed by Games Incubator and published by Playway. Most of the games that you'll see me play of the simulator variety will be published by Playway. It is kind of their thing. Full disclosure, I did receive a review copy of this game for free from Keymailer Co., but I will not let that change how critical I am of my review, like always. If you've been watching this channel for a while, you may have noticed that I really enjoy simulator games. This is one of those that scratches a certain itch. It is similar to Cooking Simulator in the way that you make things, use ingredients, and the way some of the tools work. I have played enough to see most of the features, but not all, as I'm still in the thick of things and I haven't completed it yet. But I feel like I have a pretty solid understanding of this game's main grinding tactics and gameplay loop. In typical form, you begin fresh with little in your bank account and a clear goal. You're given enough tools and supplies to start getting orders out the door before being able to envision your own creations for sale to random NPCs in the game. You are able to do a few things in this game that games such as Cooking Simulator lack, which is a giant relief to those that play a lot of sim games like these. There are a ton of different things you can make right out of the gate, by hand, with time and patience. Just like in real life, when making chocolate, you need to get the measurements right, bring to heat, crystallize by reducing the heat, and then temper most chocolate by bringing it back up in temps to a certain range, remembering to stir occasionally to prevent disaster. But chocolates aren't the only thing you can do, and you don't even have to keep making the same thing over and over. The good. Apart from being able to make a ton of different sweets, you can customize just about everything. You can change the boxes that treats go out in to your heart's desire. You can change the stamps for chocolate so that there are different shapes, sizes, and creative customizations. You can even change the layout and look of the factory from room to room. The main gameplay loop is very far from boring. There are so many things to do that it's almost hard to figure out what you should spend your time doing once you get past the initial beginning phase of the game. Like many things in this game, it seems like it wants you to take your time and have fun being creative. The chocolate tempers much quicker in this game than in real life, but that doesn't mean that you won't spend a few minutes hovering over your chocolate as it cooks sometimes to make sure you get it right, especially at the very beginning. As I said above, I haven't beaten the game yet, so I haven't even seen all that can be done, and I'm already impressed with how many cool things you can do and spend your time on. The atmosphere is incredible. The world around you and your little robot friend are all tied into this larger world. It truly feels like you were dropped into some sort of odd Willy Wonka world where steampunk took off entirely. The world around you is massive, it's floating, and it sprawls off into the distance. Your factory is full of pipes and steam and little trinkets and machines, all this tying back into that steampunk aesthetic. Every time you order something or send out an order, a giant blimp will come to collect or drop off the product, and every chocolate sent floats up in a small balloon before being abducted by a larger zeppelin for transport to the buyer. The ease of the game with the relaxing atmosphere really leads to a fun, engaging experience every time I play, and I am excited to dig in even more and see where this game takes me. The bad. There are a few things that I am critical of. Of course, there are the fair amount of bugs. One bug which really bothered me was where I would finish an order, but a menu would be open. I would close that menu to see the resolution screen of whether I did good or not on that last order. After closing that window, I would be unable to accept new orders or answer the phone. Though I solved this issue by reloading my most recent checkpoint, I still lost a bit of time, and it got in the way. Some of the menus or items are a tad confusing or in a weird place, but that starts to go away the more you play and isn't that big of a deal, but something that I noticed and wanted to talk about here. The sensitivity sometimes skyrockets out of nowhere when I try to turn and pull a lever or something similar, and my character just ends up pirouetting in the middle of the floor. It is more disorienting than it is a nuisance, so I would advise turning the sensitivity pretty low when you're playing, though this may be because my mouse has its own DPI settings that are interfering with the game's realization of sensitivity somehow. Finally, the game is very loud in my playthrough. I have the master volume somewhere around 20%, and it is still super loud. As soon as the menu opens from the start screen, the music, the sounds, it's almost enough to make you take off your headset. This may be different for you, as I am unsure how much of that is my headset, but other games I've tested are nowhere near as loud, so I'm assuming it's something to do with the audio or the way it's compressed. Overall, I thoroughly enjoyed this game, but that is coming from someone that loves weird and one-off simulator games. It is at a point where the monotony doesn't bother me as much, as long as there's a reason for it. For example, games like Farming Sim require a certain degree of repetitive monotony, and that is perfectly fine. It's needed. It's understandable. Some games force monotony on you to make grinding longer, and force you to get a certain upgrade even if you don't feel like you need it. I hope this review helps you in some capacity if you are considering this game as a purchase. This review is not meant to be a giant in-depth analysis that takes an hour to watch, more so something quick and easily digestible so that you can get an idea of what this game is about. If you would like to play Chocolate Factory Simulator, I will have a link in the description, and it's currently on sale for $16.99 on Steam until January 21st, 2025. Again, I'm Halsey, and this has been a review of Chocolate Factory Simulator. Enjoy making all the sweets, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.